All right, we're going to, well, I went ahead and made and finished creating these other two products, okay, or these other two tables, okay. And you'll notice that in the customer table, if you click on open content, there's a lot of content that shows up. But if you click on product and open content, there's nothing there. So what we want to do is we want to grab the content, we want to map it, and we want to create a flow, and we want to execute the flow. Okay, so these are our tables. We want to put data in the tables. Okay, in the table, the data is supposed to come from somewhere. So what you do is you go down to the very bottom and you're going to create a remote source. Okay, so you just click on it, right click, new remote source. You're going to name it like everybody else did, remote source underscore your number. When you do that, you're going to change the adapter to file adapter, and these all stay the same. And then down here, you're just going to change the credentials to technical user. And then your access token password is going to be lowercase GBI. Okay. Once you do that, and make sure you put your source name in, okay, which should be remote source, just like this. You got to name it the same. Capital R, capital S, no spaces, then an underscore your name, or your underscore then your number, okay? And once you put it all in and get it all done, you should be able to save it, and you click the little save button, and then you test the connection, and it should work. Okay? All right. Once you have your connection done, do you want to save? No, I just want to get rid of that one. We're done. All right. Once you have your connection done, you'll come down to your remote source and open it. And in your remote source, you'll see that you have these files in here. Okay. And that's kind of like their way of saying, okay, well, you've got this remote source, and here's your files for your source. So you're going to want to create, the next step would be to create virtual, let me say this right. I want to call them, I think they're called virtual views, or virtual data tables. Okay. So all you do for this part is you just come down, you're going to right click on the table. Okay. So we'll start with product. You right click on it, new virtual table, and then instead of remote source, you're just going to name it VT, and then underscore your number, okay, and then click OK. All right, you're going to do that for product, sales, data, and customer, okay, and just call them VT underscore whatever the name of it is underscore your thing, and you'll have all those. Okay, so that's the next step. Okay, then you want to go in and create the flow. To do the flow, you go back to the editor. Okay, so once you're in the editor, you're going to create the flow. So let me create a flow. So this is the customer flow. Okay, so I'll just open this up. And when you open this up, if you don't see all of this stuff, make sure it's selected. You can click on the properties and make sure that you have your number selected here. Okay, then you're going to drag the data source. Okay, and you're going to select the right data source, which is under tables, and it's where the data is. Okay, where the data is. So if I was doing product, I would select product. Okay, but this was customer, so I selected customer, and that's here. And then you're going to do the same thing for the sync. Where is it? It's coming from those Excel files, those CVS files, and it's going back into our table. So we grab our sync, and we come over and say, where is it going? It's going into the table, and it's going up into the table that we created, the customer table, not the virtual table. See, these CSV files have all the data in them. The data needs to be put into the database. That's all we're doing. So you take the customer, you click on that customer table that you created, all right? Then you're going to create the flow. All you do to create the flow is you just click this little arrow and drag it over to here, and then the two are connected. Remember, it goes from the source to the sync. Then all you do after that is double click the sync, okay? And you're going to drag customer number up to customer number. So you just drag them up, and it creates that little, the two little, look, they look like wheels, right? So it creates that little connection. You're going to do it from this side to this side all the way down. So grab customer number, customer name, city, valid from, valid. They're all here. Drag them over, and then you're going to click save. After you click save, you're going to execute. So you're going to right click and execute, or that's execute right there too. So either of them work. When it executes, you'll see that it says that it was executed. If you execute it a second time, you're going to get an error. Okay. See right here, this big error that's down here at the bottom. That big error means you can't put the data in the database twice. Try doing it in a regular database. It's going to do the same thing. You're loading up a bunch of data and you're trying to duplicate the data. It's not going to like it. All the primary keys are all screwed up. It'll be all messed up. Okay. So don't do it twice. Just execute it once. See that it says. So here, two statements before, like 10 minutes ago, I called it, I executed it, and it executed in like 1483 milliseconds. Went pretty fast. Okay. You can't do it twice. All right. So you're going to do that, the customer flow, the product flow, and the sales flow. You got to knock that out.